It feels like rappers are essentially just attention-seeking individuals. And while that might seem obvious, it's worth a deeper look. Yes, we appreciate them for their music, but that is really only one aspect of their whole public persona. And honestly, this whole dynamic is quite fascinating. Some rappers cultivate these tough, gritty images, but when you look closer, some of their actions are actually pretty pathetic. Even when they aren't doing completely humiliating things, their behavior can still be tacky or just plain off-putting. However, to be fair, maybe this is just the nature of their career. They have to constantly promote themselves and their art. So, how do you manage to stay relevant? Attention. In this digital world, attention becomes the main currency. The better you are at getting it, the more successful you are. And I believe that in this relentless chase for attention, many rappers have completely embarrassed themselves. Let's look at some examples tailored for viral content. Naturally, we have to begin with 6ix9ine, who is arguably the biggest attention seeker of them all. Despite the number of times this guy has vanished from the internet, every single time he resurfaces, it's just to stir up more controversy. And I seriously have to question the motivation of the people who constantly allow him on their lives. The guy clearly isn't a good person, but the money must be too tempting because you'll see him featured constantly. Look, I understand he put out Gummo and a few other decent tracks back in the day. But I was 11 then, and I'm 18 now. People really need to move on from him. Plus, considering what he has pleaded guilty to, there should absolutely be no path back for him. So, why are people having 6ix9ine in on their streams? Then again, we all know modern-day streamers often lack a moral compass. That's nothing new.
You and Diddy were locked up together?
Me, Diddy, the president of Honduras, and Sam Beck-Freeman, that's his name, the crypto FTX.
Oh, yeah.
We slept next to each other.
Okay, did you and Diddy have conversations?
Yeah, we spoke. The first thing he said to me, he laughed. He's like, "Yo, that's crazy how we meet, right?" And you know, it was everybody there. We gave a hug and all that shit. I mean, he's like, "Yo," I'm like, "Yo, oh, that's what I said." I said, "Yo, why you never invited me to none of your parties?"
That's
what I said to him. Huh?
Did you get invited to any freak-offs?
Yeah, I'm like, "Yo, why you inviting me?" Word two, that was the first thing he said, "Yo, that's crazy how we meet, right?" We laughed. I said, "Yo, why you never invited me to any of your parties?" Word two, that's how it happened. And then I put him on the phone with academics.
Okay, this whole situation is definitely an unsettling development given what Mr. 6ix9ine has admitted to. But seriously, this is just bizarre. The guy is casually discussing having slept with Puffy, and I don't want to sound redundant, but Diddy is practically one of the most corrupt people alive right now, or maybe I'm exaggerating, as there are many terrible people, but you get my point. Systemic abuse, violence, human trafficking, some of the most horrendous crimes you can imagine. Diddy has likely been involved in them. And regardless of any legal sentences, the numerous victim testimonies, the video footage showing him assaulting Cassie, the interviews he gave, the shows he was on, all of it painted a clear picture of who Diddy really was. So, why isn't Vlad calling him out? 6ix9ine is sitting there discussing sleeping with Diddy and then asking for an invite to a party. That kind of behavior is just so pathetic, yet it blows up online. Not to mention, he also mentioned setting up a call between Diddy and but is that truly shocking? Academics himself has very questionable ethics. I'm honestly still confused about how he completely avoided any serious consequences after the whole Nor incident, but I won't dwell on that too much because I got a channel strike the last time I brought it up.
Your ass crack be showing a lot, bro.
I don't think I'm fat.
You're not fat, bro. Yeah, actually you are. You have a lean gut. You still bleed?
No.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Sorry.
I ain't afraid of.
I don't personally know the man, but may he rest in peace. I only included this clip because the individual was so casually mocking the deceased. I realize his whole public image is built on being utterly disrespectful and provocative. But honestly, at some point, you become too old for that nonsense. In this particular situation, he's too grown to be constantly relying on this disrespectful shtick. I don't know about you all, but I want no part of that kind of energy. I get that it achieves viral attention, but it just feels a little malicious.
Where'd it go? I don't know. Sometimes I want to be in high. Hold on.
Wait, what?
I don't know. What the? In this point in my life, I'm him. Like, how many times I've been canceled and uncanceled and people like me and people hate me. I went platinum while you hated on me. Niggas still ain't doing like me. I'm nothing like you niggas. I ain't got no OG. Let's go.
And this is just flat out racism. The guy keeps using slurs. What happened to using less offensive language? Why does he have to resort to that? And that's not even the worst part. He casually dropped the hard R and then talked about how he's been canceled and how he's a big deal. I think 6ix9ine fails to see that his entire existence is a sideshow. Sure, people might be laughing, but I believe they are laughing at 6ix9ine, not with him. That's my take. Because honestly, who in their right mind, outside of streamers desperate for clout, is thinking, I really want to hang out with 6ix9ine? The guy just radiates negative energy. But let's move on to the next subject. Okay, the next person to discuss is Lil J. You already know about the Black Boy Max situation. This guy completely lost his composure because he couldn't smoke a little weed. And as someone who is knowledgeable about cannabis, he was definitely overreacting. But here's the thing, I'm a reasonable person, and I don't think Lil J is inherently evil or as bizarre as 6ix9ine. In fact, I'd like to believe some of his breakdowns are the result of his own past trauma. But, goodness, he is certainly an unpredictable mess.
Like 2-3 minutes, I pulled up. And it's like, you feel me? My son said, yo, can you not smoke? Excuse me, thank you, or appreciate it. Like that, immediately. I ain't even put the blunt out. Nigga said appreciate it. I'm like, you think I've been in jail, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I've been in jail as a minor, bro. I was a felon at 13. I don't know who niggas supposed to think Lil TJ is, bro. You feel me? Excuse me, appreciate it. What type of reaction you really think you gonna get from that, gang? Like, you think you my mother, bro? Like, for real, niggas just slapped the shit. I'm on camera, bro, so I'm woo-woo, like, you feel me?
So, after being told he couldn't smoke, this guy jumps onto a DDG stream, attempts to act tough, and boasts about being a felon. Seriously, there's no way. And then, afterward, he dropped a diss track, trying to profit off the incident. I just found that supremely he essentially turned a moment of disrespect into a financial opportunity. I feel like that really removes the human element from the situation. Clearly, everyone has their differences, but Max wasn't in the wrong here. Had they both been a little more mature, they could have just smoked in the background. Max could have even turned them smoking in the back into a whole segment. They could have done high and freestyling, but instead, they chose to completely lose it like children. But that was just my impression when everything went down. Also, he later tried to set up a boxing match with Max, so there's that.
No. Don't ban my name in the chat now. Respond and react, nigga. I want to see how good your I want to see how good your PR is. Come up with something. Respond and react, nigga. Anything else you was gonna respond to and say, oh my gosh, I'm such a civilian. He's bothering me. No, you was on the ops, nigga. You asked for this, nigga. It's over. And I'm not coming at you with no gangster. Respond, nigga. You sicko, nigga. You sicko. Is that the reason or not? Go through the phone. Show the fans. The fans wanna know, my boy.
Yeah, this part was just sad. And like I said, I'm sure it stems from some underlying trauma. But why is your immediate reaction to rip your shirt off and start crying on camera? Why go to such extremes for attention? The guy was blowing up Kai's phone, so it's just exhausting. Well, I don't even want to discuss it anymore. Let's move on to the next person. The last rapper I want to bring up is Lil Yachty. Honestly, he barely needs an introduction.
Do you agree with that shit? Niggas be saying streamers are new rappers and shit?
Absolutely not. Streamers lame as hell.
Okay.
But streamers getting money. Y'all getting money like rappers. Okay. And I respect that. But rap, y'all definitely getting money like. But one thing about streamers is you can't fake cool.
2 seconds later.
Put my knee up on her neck. I will enjoy.
This is just incredibly uncool, because he starts by criticizing streamers for being lame, and then he drops a distasteful George Floyd line, and he's a black man. Then, he tried to project that strange internalized racism onto Quinn.
I'm not white, black. He's white. By the way,
he's
guys.
literally white, black.
The guy is talking about her being white, black, yet he's over here using lines about George Floyd as if that's normal. But that's the reality of the game now. You drop an edgy, embarrassing line like that, it goes viral, you get the attention, and you get paid. All you have to do is compromise your morals, maybe your integrity, and perhaps your soul. But at least you gain that digital currency. Also, I am convinced that some rappers have developed an obsession with streamers because the shift from them receiving all the praise and recognition to streamers getting it has really caused them to lose their minds. He lost his mind so much that he started hinting at past relations with India Love.
Yo, India Love, thank you for that 10 gift there. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yeah, here, I'm gonna just order something.
Just go right there.
We'll go. Huh? India? Bro, she's cool as Where, bro?
Nice set to go.
Yeah, she's cool.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, she's cool as
So yeah.
Here, what you want?
Keep in mind, I won't show the clip because I don't feel like it, but he did mention that he likes DDG, so I just feel like he's calling streamers lame while simultaneously hinting that he was involved with India. I'd say pray for him, but that would just slow things down. All that being said, since having a public brand and generating attention are directly tied to the money you earn, I guess I can't be too shocked that rappers are willing to say controversial things and make absolute fools of themselves for the sake of attention. Sometimes it's entertaining, other times, it's highly questionable. And Yachty, if you happen to see this, I'm still going to wear my Rick gear. I don't care if they're burnt, because at the end of the day, Rick Owens is Rick Owens. But that's really all I had to share. Subscribe for more of my unrequested opinions. Be blessed, everyone. I'm out. Bye-bye.